regular session for January 16th of 2020. We will now have Minister Derek Green for our invocation.
If you would, bow your heads, I'm going to say a few scriptures as prayers over our youth today. God, we thank you so much for this time to gather in your name. We pray that through this meeting and through all the meetings, that you continue to stir up the gifts that's in these young people. God, our prayer of these young people is also that they will continue to get wisdom. You know, your word, you said, in all you're getting, get wisdom and get understanding. We also would like to pray tonight, God, the prayer of Jabez over this group of young men and women, that you would continue to enlarge their territory. And lastly, God, we would continue to pray that as they learn about counsel, that they would learn Luke 16 and 12, that if you have not been faithful in that which is another man's, who shall give you that which is your own? God, lastly, I declare and speak blessings over every young person that is present. I pray a special blessing over those that are allocating their time to work with these young adults. My prayers to continue to bless everyone in attendance. We honor and serve you, God, with everything that we have. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. We will now have the ambitious young men for our Pledge of Allegiance. And the Fly Girls.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now ask for a motion for the approval of the order of the agenda.
I, Candace Pace, first this motion.
I, Tyree Wilson, second this motion.
It's been motioned in first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's been moved. We will now have Ms. Denitra Williams.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And thank each of you for coming and spending this time with us to support our wonderful and energetic and intelligent young group here today, our Mayor's Youth Council. Each meeting, we select a person, or they volunteer for a month of the members that we spotlight because they are learning the logistics behind establishing a meeting and conducting a meeting. So that was actually a part that was added in our agenda during orientation this year. Ms. Juanetta identified that, hey, we're teaching them. They're learning, so they need to know the whole process. They need to know what happens behind the curtain and behind the wall before the actual day. We don't just show up and ta-da! Meetings happen. There comes planning, training, and some work. So in that, our spotlight for this month is Angelique. Hi. Hi, Angel. How are you doing?
Good.
She is our member that was spotlighted for this meeting, and she had the opportunity of spotlighting a peer of hers that she had noticed and said, hey, they're doing some positive things, because what we're trying to do is let the word be known that we have some very intelligent and bright and active and positive youth in our community. A lot of times their efforts go unseen or unheard because they're drowned out by a couple of people that are not as positive. But we want the city of Douglas, we want Georgia, our country, and everyone else to know that we have some young people that are doing some awesome things, and we wanted to spotlight them. So with that being said, Samantha, if you'll come forward with Angelique Jackson, to present her certificate. And it states, the member spotlight. This certificate is presented to Angelique Jackson, an outstanding Mayor's Youth Council member and youth in the community. Your dedication is greatly appreciated. We wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Congratulations on being our member spotlight, given this 16th day of January 2020. Okay, with that being said, I'll let Angels make the presentation for her spotlight person. Thank you. You can go back. And her person selected is Ruby Morel. She's, okay. Well, you can have a seat, but thank you, ma'am. And her certificate basically says, given the 16th day of January 2020 by the Mayor's Youth Council, the City of Douglas Mayor's Youth Council recognize you and your educational accomplishment, being helpful, inspiring, and motivational to your peers. Ruby also plays soccer while maintaining good grades, displaying great time management skills. We wish you well as you pursue a career as a veterinarian and all other endeavors. And we have a couple of other outstanding persons, and if Ms. Jessica Williams with the Fly Girl program will come forward. And while she's coming forward, I'll just give another heads up that we are preparing for our 2021 Mayor's Youth Council. So any young persons, 9th grade to 12th grade, that are interested in some learning, training, some travel, some fun, some excitement. No woo-woo. Okay, but there are applications that are being submitted right now. Marilyn, you know. You can come to City Hall and see Ms. Juanetta and get an application, or they're online. Or you can come to our Facebook page. No? Still no? Okay. And like us and find out information, not only what's going on with the Mayor's Youth Council, but Teen Court, which we're also receiving application for jurors so that they learn the whole judicial process. So they become good embedded citizens now, so when they are adult citizens, they already know the process. We have attorneys, bailiff, clerk of court, every position that is held in court other than the judge, that's the only adult with authority in the room, is handled with our teen court. It's a wonderful experience. It's every first Saturday at the Law Enforcement Center, 9 o'clock a.m. Mayor's Youth Council every third Thursday of the month. Mr. You're
I just wanted to recognize 3 of my Fly Girls for their dedication and help with providing community service in the month of December. First, we have Sanaya Wilson. She was able to help in collecting donations for our Operations Veterans Care Package Drive. We were able to collect items as well as money to create care packs to take to the VA hospital in Dublin, Georgia on December 13th. She's also being recognized for her help with distributing toys from the City of Douglas Community Toy Drive on December 14th. Sanaya is in the 9th grade at George Washington Freshman Campus, and she's also in honors classes. She also serves as a member on the GWC, George Washington Carver Student Council. Next, I wanted to recognize Destiny Moore. Destiny Moore is also being recognized for her help in collecting donations for our Operations Veterans Care Package Drive. She also participated in the trip to take the care packs to the VA hospital in Dublin, Georgia. And she's also being recognized for her help in the community toy drive on December 14th. Miss Moore from Missy, which she's not here.
Okay. But to have her.
Okay,
So I'll get it.
Tanisha Mitchell. She had cheerleading practice. She's a busy young lady, but tonight, Missy is also being recognized for her help with the Veterans Care Package Drive. And also, Missy is an honor student, and she was able to make all A's on a roll the first semester. She's also a Coffee Trojan cheerleader, which is the reason she's not here, and she serves as the class secretary for George Washington Carver Student Council. Thank you.
We will now have Mr. Mike Bazell or Jessica Williams give the AYM and Fly Girl events information.
Good evening, good evening. We don't have too many updates. The only update I have is that we have our, is that fly? You said fly? Our next event for AIM and Fly Girls is February the 22nd for the 9th grade through 12th grade. It's going to be a 90s dance party. Like I said, we try to have a party for them every other month, something positive for them to do instead of being in the street. So I think this event will be something special for the high schoolers. And AIM is having their Pumping the Love Back in the Community Part 2. We had it last year. It was a great success. We put a lot of smiles on a lot of women in the city of Douglas. And it's good to show appreciation to the women who basically care for us, their kids, people in the community. So it's something we like to do to give back to them. That will be February 13th on a Thursday at 5 to 7 p.m. at Circle K, across the street from the CVS. And my schedule is, you said Walgreens? Walgreens. All right, my schedule for the AIM, we still have our meetings from the first Thursday of every month, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and then the fourth Thursday of every month. And that's pretty much it. Thank y'all.
We will now have Miss Latricia Moses for the change of heart.
Okay, I'm going to hear the microphone. But first off, I would truly like to thank Ms. Michelle for inviting me to come out and speak with each and every one of you all. My name is Latricia Moses, and I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Change of Heart. And Change of Heart is a personal life coaching program in which I offer services to adults as well as teenagers. And one of those services include anger management. And whenever I'm speaking, I kind of like to engage with people. So would anyone like to tell me, when you think of the word anger, like what comes to mind? Anyone? Yeah. Anyone else?
Lose control of your mind.
That's true. Anyone else?
Frustration.
Frustration. Mm-hmm. And all the good answers are absolutely correct, because anger, it has many faces. And the thing about it, it truly has an impact on each person differently. And so what I'm about to demonstrate, one of the activities that I use in one of my lessons, and it's just basically to give that person an idea of how anger can look and basically what it's saying.
From the back.
So I'll stand. Okay. And hold please. Okay. And basically it's to give that person an idea of what anger sometimes looks like and how it can basically affect, each person differently. So basically I just started out getting that person to understand that your anger, it means something. Like, it's just not there just to be there. Like, it means something. And so with most teenagers, for some of them, it means I'm hurt. I'm hurt because I want a relationship with my dad. But he don't. For whatever reason, he don't want a relationship with me. And I don't understand. Like, I don't know what I did to him. Why am I being treated this way? And then for others, their anger is, I simply feel some type of way. Like, you said something, you did something, it rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't like it when you do that. And for some, I'm scared. I live at home with my mom and her alcoholic boyfriend. He comes in every night drunk, fussing and cussing. And it makes me nervous. Like, I don't know what he's capable of doing. I don't know if he's capable of hurting me or even hurting my mom. And for some, I don't know what to do. I'm in high school. I work. I'm stressed at home. I'm already behind on some of my assignments. And then on top of that, I have other assignments the next day. So as you can see, anger, it really does has many faces, and it can really have an impact on each person differently. But one thing I do need you to understand, that anger is not all bad. It's not all negative. It's just what makes it bad is whenever it's out of control, and when it begins to basically affect you or other people in a negative manner. You can use anger in a positive manner to get things accomplished, to get things done. It's kind of like that phrase where people say, get mad enough to do something. Not so much in a negative way, but in a positive way to make that change that you need. And that is one reason why I decided to incorporate teenagers in this program. At first, it was only going to be for just adults. But the same way for adults, teenagers need certain skills and knowledge in advance. You all need to know how to work through certain problems. You need to know that there's strategies to overcome certain issues. Like, sometimes you're not in control over the card that you've been dealt with. But you just have to, develop a plan of how to overcome some of these situations that you have basically fell in your lap. Just becoming more aware of your triggers, becoming more aware of yourself, the things that you want, the things that you don't want, how to set boundaries. All of those are important tools. For one, because you're basically going to develop, you're going to grow, you're going to transition from childhood to adolescent to one day you're going to become an adult. So it's very important for you all to know these things and gain these certain skills and knowledge in advance. And I hope I've said something enlighten you all on my services. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask me afterwards. If you have any questions.
What piece of advice would you give to teenagers in this room?
As it pertains to dealing with anger?
Dealing with anger, yes, ma'am.
Dealing with anger. One advice I would give you is to basically take time to process the situation. You need to become aware of the things that trigger you first and foremost before you even start the process of finding a solution. Like, you need to find out those things You know, again, like the things that you want, the things that you don't want, your triggers, what sets you off, just your boundaries. You know, you need to become more aware of yourself in order to, like I said, to develop these skills. You need to become more aware of yourself. So that is one advice that I would give this generation. Just take the time to get to know yourself and the things that you want, the things that you don't want, and that way you can set the tone when it comes down to other people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
With your example of using those signs as what I believe is rocks and then sign, kind of signifying how they feel, is there something that can be implemented in someone that owns home? So like that we can take home? Like, is that something that we could do ourselves?
Yes, absolutely. These are tools that you can use yourself.
And so how would we be able to replicate kind of what you do on a personal level with the people you help?
As far as the strategies,
Mhm.
yeah. Basically, like I said, I just take the situation that they're dealing with, whether it's, you know, just trying to cope with an absent parent. I first, you know, teach them about identity and how their identity is not defined in anyone else. You know, just learning that sometimes even when people are not, just getting them to understand that they have control over certain situations. And I think that's the problem with some people. They're not aware of their options. So it's just getting them to understand that, hey, this is what's going on, but these are also your options. So either you can remain stuck in that place, or we can begin to work on ways for you to cope with this year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And as you said, having goals or other things, because now I got something to work towards. So although this is my situation,
Right.
I'm going to implement these things because I've got to get my high school diploma before I can go to college. So having those goals and being reminded of those helps with dealing with some of the anger situations.
Anyone else?
Yes, me. What made you want to start Change?
Change of heart. Wow. Well, for me, it was very personal. And there's certain situations that I've gone through, and some people know of those situations if they know me personally. And then there's some that just kind of heard by the way of those situations. And I've just had people to say, you know, hey, you know, the way you handled that situation, you know, it couldn't have been me. Or I've gone through that situation and, you know, I'm still struggling with it. And for me, it was just like, you know, it was just like a aha moment. You know, I'm just like, dang, you know, I've gone through some things where some people are still stuck in those situations. And it was just a process of me learning more about me, and just learning that I was not defined by those situations, and just learning how to cope, because if not, I would have remained there stuck. And I realized, you know, being stuck, that was going to hinder me in my future. So that is one reason why I decided to want to change a part, not only for the adults, but then also I work with teenagers as well. And it's kind of like, you know, I'm always finding myself talking to them, even on my job. I'm a teacher in Tifton, at Tifton County High School, and they're always just sharing things. And I see, like, if they don't change their mindset about the situation, it's going to one day affect them even in their adulthood. Because even some of the adults that I work with, most of their issues are going back to childhood issues. It's hardly ever just current adult issues. It's just still dealing with, I can't believe, you know, my dad neglected me, or my mom neglected me, or, you know, why didn't my parents take up for me in this situation here? It's always going back to childhood situations. So that is one reason why I felt that it was just very important to incorporate both. because we all, deal with issues, adults as well as kids. Sometimes we kind of undermine the situations or what teenagers are going through, but they go through things too. Even the smaller kids, they go through things. So that is one reason why I launched it. It was definitely personal, and that's one reason why, anytime I'm given this opportunity, it's a passion. It's from the heart. You are.
I have a question. I'm a mother of 4 daughters. And when my daughters growing up, I always encourage them to keep a journal. I bought them a journal, and I always encourage them to write things down that they, if a problem came up, I encourage them to write it down, keep a journal, and go back and look at it, look at what they wrote down, and ask themselves a question: what can I do to change, this problem? And I always encourage them to have one person that, other than myself, that they trusted, that they could go to, their go-to person, and then we would take it, go from there. And I found out when they go back and look at it, and then they'll come back and tell me, I thought about it and I did this. And I find myself that it helped me as a grown-up, as an adult, to write things down and go back and read it. And then I was like, okay, well, I can change this and do that. And so, and it helped.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now have Ms. Jasmine Thomas to speak about Pretty Girls with Purpose.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Jasmine Thomas. I am originally from Coffee County, and I just recently moved back. I've been living in Daytona Beach, where I went to Bethune-Cookman University. I obtained my bachelor's degree in business administration, and I'm currently working on my master's in educational leadership. And I was a recent 3rd grade teacher, but, we're on a new journey now. But I come to talk to you all about an amazing upcoming conference that we have. It's called Pretty Girls with Purpose. Pretty Girls with Purpose is something that as young women and as people in general, we go through things in life not knowing what our individual purpose is. I believe that life is best lived and most fulfilled when we find our purpose and when we begin to operate in it. In fact, every person in this room has a purpose. And little do you know, you are a purpose before you are a person. When God created each of us, He had one purpose, which is our purpose in His mind. Pretty Girls with Purpose, they actually began about 3 years ago. Started off with like 7 girls. We would meet. We would talk about our purpose. We would network. We would talk about things like depression. We would talk about things like anger. We'll talk about things like anxiety. We'll talk about things that girls and, younger girls go through in general, and how to deal with those things, how to let those things out, how to be in a safe space, how to be able to talk about those things and let it not leave the room and move past them. So it started off with like 7 girls, and as of today, we have 133 girls that are registered for the conference. And I'm really, really excited about it because this conference is going to have amazing panelists, going to have amazing speakers. People that are natives of Coffee County are coming back to pour back into our youth, to pour back into our young women, to pour back into just the city in general. And I welcome each of you to all come and be a part and to attend. I mean, I know I said it's for girls, but in the future, we will have something for the young men coming up. But this is something that I've took on. I wrote it down on a piece of paper like 3 years ago. And I said, you know what, I'm going to have a conference one day. I actually said 2019, but I didn't look back at that paper anymore. And I literally found it the other day, and I'm like, wow, I really wrote this down 3 years ago, and it really actually came to pass. And so I'm really excited about it, and I chose to specifically host this conference here because I'm from here. And I want to pour back into the youth. I want to pour back into the young women here because I feel like as young women we have a lot that we deal with that we cannot talk about, that we hold it in, and like you were talking about with the anger, that's a major, major issue. And how will we ever get to our purpose if we never begin to walk in it? If we have things like anger holding us down, if we have things like depression holding us down, if we have things like anxiety holding us down, fear, you won't make it to your purpose. I always say that the graveyard is the richest place because so many people died without fulfilling their purpose. So many people died without fulfilling their destiny. So that's basically my conference. And it's March 28th, 2020. And it will be at Empowerment Center International Ministries. And the conference starts at 9 a.m. The registration is free. There will be food provided for free. I wanted to make this free because the ages range from middle school up into college, and I actually have some 35, 45-year-old young women being a part as well. So I wanted to make it accessible to everyone. There will be child care there because if I know some young women, they have children. I know they need child care. So I want it really to be for everyone. I want to break ground. We need to take it by force because our youth is literally, if we don't get a hold to our purpose, if we don't begin to walk in it, we will begin to literally lose our youth and our young adults. Like, that's the main important focus because that's our next generation coming up. And everyone in this room has a purpose. And believe it or not, you're walking in it right now.
Madam Mayor, there are no further comments from me.
Madam Mayor, there are no further comments from me.
We will now have Candace Pace with our city events update.
Hello, everyone. On January 27th, the City Commission meeting at City Hall in the Council Room at 7 p.m. For more information, call 389-3401. On January 20th, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, city offices will be closed. On January 20th through the 31st, a regular baseball registration. For more information on that, please call 389-5978. On January 21st through the 31st, a regular softball registration. For more information on that, 384-5978. And lastly, on January 27th, City Commission meeting at City Hall, Commission Room at 7 p.m. For more information, call 389-3401. And that concludes the City of Douglas community events.
Okay. We'll have the social media update from our Junior Mayor Pro Tem, Anna Escobar.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would just like to remind everyone to please go and follow us on Instagram at DouglasGANYC and on Instagram at Douglas Mayor's Youth Council, where we make sure to upload everything that happens in our meetings and events that we see throughout the community, such as the Pretty Girls event that will be occurring. And so hopefully we'll be able to get some pictures, send some updates, and remind everybody of these amazing events that are going on in our amazing city. Thank you.
Okay. Including the meeting, we will have the Mayor's Youth Council member comments. We'll start with Commissioner Wilson.
I would like to thank everyone for coming out today and attending the meeting. I would like to thank Ms. Latrice for speaking about Change of Heart and thank Ms. Jasmine about speaking Pretty Girls with Purpose.
We will now have Commissioner Deborah.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to thank everybody for attending our meetings, and I would like to thank all of our guest speakers for coming here. I learned so much about what y'all said, and thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I would just like to thank everyone for coming, taking the time out of your days. I'm very surprised, as I've seen throughout the years, that more and more people come to support us, and that means a lot to us as the council. I would like to thank our amazing speakers for taking the time and helping include our youth in programs that you guys have that hopefully will help make our community prosper throughout the years and have more future leaders as we go along. Ms. Latrice, I think that what you do is very important, especially to a lot of young adults that sometimes don't know how to control their anger. And it really helps them understand, okay, this is my situation. It isn't going to be permanent. I can do something to change it. And it all starts with me and changing the way I think about myself. And Ms. Shasman, I love your idea of everybody having a purpose. I think that is very true, and I hope everybody attends your march. I hope that there will be a good show from us, and that we'll be able to make sure that we upload things on our Instagram page, on our Facebook, and hopefully we can get your numbers of who attends to really go up, and it's really inspiring what you do. Thank you.
Commissioner Jackson?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We would like to thank all of our guests, the community, the family members, and staff. We greatly appreciate you for taking all your time out to be here on tonight. We are thankful for a successful meeting, and we hope that you come again.
Commissioner Pace?
Hello, everyone. I would like to thank you all for coming out on today's meeting, and I would also like to remind all seniors who attend CHS that the deadline for seeing pictures to be in the yearbook is January 29th.
Commissioner Suarez?
Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to come to our meeting. The meetings are every third Thursday of the month. Time is flying by and graduation day is approaching, so I suggest everyone to do good. All the seniors, keep your grades up. Everyone, we're almost done.
Commissioner Aites?
I would like to thank everybody for coming and support the children tomorrow at the basketball game.
Commissioner Crockett?
Good evening, everyone. First, I would like to thank you all for coming out, taking the time and supporting us tonight. It's a really large crowd, and we all like to see that. I would also like to congratulate Ruby, Tanasia, Destiny, and Sanaya. I want to say keep up the amazing and great work. Also, thanks to Ms. Shasman and Ms. Latricia for the inspiring information. I'm pretty sure the Mayor's Youth Council y'all have our total full honest support about everything that y'all are doing. And I would also like to remind everyone that our teen court sessions will resume on the first Saturday in February, and I hope to see everyone that I see here today at the Law Enforcement Center at 9 a.m. And that's also every first Saturday of the month. Thank you.
I would like to thank you all for coming, especially those who spoke. Y'all did really well. We love to see a full house. That's the most we've ever had. I think we need some more chairs. I would also like to repeat what they said. Anyone interested in joining the council, please don't be shy. Come apply. Go online, apply. Because a lot of us have to leave. We got a lot of absence. And just because Mr. Beecher beats it into your head enough, go like our Facebook page. I need a motion to conclude the meeting.
Candace Space first this motion.
Tanya Wilson second this motion.
It's been motion first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?